In maths, we have got constants, we have got variables, but variables are of two types: dependent variables and independent variables. Independent variables are the variables which can change their value on their own, but dependent variables are the variables whose change in the value depends upon change in another variable. For example, we can say that if y is a dependent variable and the change in y depends upon change in x and change in t, that means we say that y is a dependent variable, x is an independent variable, and t is an independent variable. So we can say that y is a function of x. So y is a function of x. That means the change in y depends upon the change in x. So we say that y is a function of x. Or we can also say that y is a function of t. That means t is an independent variable, but y is a dependent variable because the change in y depends upon the change in t. We say that y is a function of t. Discuss about the wave function. A wave function defines the motion of the wave mathematically. It is shown that a wave pulse is going from left to right from the point O. At the point O, it doesn't depend upon the time, so y at O, displacement at O, is a function of x alone. So we say that y is a function of x. As the time goes on, this displacement depends upon x as well as t. So we say that y is a function of x and t. So y as a function of x and t depends upon fx plus minus vt. Why vt? Because like terms can be added. Velocity into time is equal to displacement, that is x. Y is also a displacement. Y is a displacement in the y direction, and x is a displacement or the distance in x direction. So this is a wave function. This wave function defines mathematically the wave pulse going from this side to this side. Now we have got plus minus, which sign to take depends upon if the wave pulse is going from left to right, y x comma t, that is wave function is f of x minus vt. If it is going from right to left, y x comma t is taken as y x plus vt. So this is a wave function. So a wave function is a mathematical equation that describes the motion of this wave pulse. Now talking of periodic wave function. A periodic wave function is a mathematical equation that tells us about the periodic waves or the periodic wave pulses or a train of pulses traveling in a medium. Now, what is a periodic wave? A periodic wave is a wave that repeats itself after a fixed interval of time. That fixed interval of time is called as time period, or it repeats itself after a fixed interval of distance that is called as a full wavelength. That means in one cycle we have one time period, and one full cycle we have got one wavelength. So a periodic wave repeats itself after one wavelength or after two wavelengths or n wavelengths. Or we can say that a periodic wave repeats itself after a time period, two time periods, or n time periods. And we have to see what is a periodic wave function. How can we mathematically show an equation that describes the motion of that periodic wave? That is called as a periodic wave function. Okay. Now we know that a wave function y x comma t is equal to f of x plus minus vt, as already shown. Now a periodic wave function repeats itself after lambda, 2 lambda, dj, and lambda. So we say that after these gaps of lambda, the wave function should be the same. That is the periodic wave function. So I can say that y x plus n lambda comma t is equal to f of x plus minus vt. This is a periodic wave function. Also repeats itself after a time period t, 2t, dj, mt. So we can say that y x comma t plus mt is equal to f of x plus minus vt. This is a periodic wave function. When we talk of this is a periodic wave function, this is also a periodic wave function. Here we consider the time period, here we consider the wavelengths. So after one wavelength it will repeat itself, two wavelengths it will repeat itself, n wavelengths it will repeat itself. After one cycle, when m is equal to 1, that is after one time period it will repeat itself, two time periods it will repeat itself, after m time periods it will repeat itself. So these are the equations which perfectly describe the motion of a wave train or periodic pulses or periodic wave. So these are called as periodic wave functions.